You know, that's one of the great things about having a Scottish accent. Google Transcribe. It's brilliant. Sometimes I just use Transcribe so I can go back and read the madness that comes out, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's got anything right yet.
Yeah, you Scots are responsible for a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Do you mean like penicillin and TV and the steam engine and
Yeah.
TV?
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Yeah.
I remember reading once that if you took DNA of everyone in the world, they would all have Scottish blood due to our empire.
yeah.
What?
Enough said
So I don't know
about
what that says about Scottish men. It must say something quite. It must be very friendly.
Yeah.
Either that or nobody understands us.
Or it's the whiskey.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh dear. Okay, so let's see. I'll just have to switch over to here, and I want to go here. Okay, is that coming through? Okay.
Not yet.
Oh. Oh. How about now?
Yes, I can see that now.
The video page. Okay, good. This is the training here, Charles, and I'll send you this link as well. It's just wpoptimal.com/AMM, and on this page here you can watch the training there, and also have added put the process map up originally, and I've also added a template. So this here is the process map. Okay, so we'll just quickly go through this again, and you can ask questions as they come up. If you have questions, I can't, when I'm in this screen here, I can't see what's going on, so perhaps you can help me with that, Chris. If questions are coming up in the chat, you can just let me know, and we'll take them as we go through it.
The best way to do this, guys, is if you want to ask a question, if you just ping the raise hand, Chris, when he gets into his motion, won't stop. I'll stop him, don't worry. So just raise hand if you want to jump on and ask. It's a small enough group, so hopefully you're not shy. And if you would rather not come on mic, then still raise hand and write it in the chat. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, good idea.
That sound good, everyone?
All right.
Okay. Excellent. Right.
Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this from the aspect that you have no clients at all right now, okay, which is position A, and what we want to get you to is position B, okay, so when you start getting sales in and repeat sales and so on and so on. So this is, the map's all open at the moment, so try not to get too distracted, okay. We'll start with this centerpiece here, the mirror magnet. Now, the reason I call them mirror magnets is because one thing I've learned over the years is the best product or service to sell anybody is something that they see a direct reflection of themselves in. Okay, that's an important point, so I'll just say that one more time. The best product or service to sell anyone is a product or service that directly reflects them. And what I mean by that is, if you've had a look through the system here, and the result of this page, we'll get to that in a little while, but basically it shows you the breakdown of their specific website. Okay, so that's a direct reflection of their website. Okay, so that's what I mean by mirror that's the mirror part, and the magnet part is that what they're shown on that screen is going to be a lot worse than what they expect to see. Okay, and that in itself is a finger directly on a pressure point on the neck of their business. Okay, all of the stuff that you're showing them is holding them back. They need help with that, and that's what the magnet part is. Because the logic behind that is, well, if somebody's pointing all this stuff out to you and telling you you really need to get this fixed to get your site, you know, bringing in more traffic, then what do you think the possibility is that they're not going to directly contact you? Because you pointed it out, right, which means you obviously know what you're talking about. Therefore, why would they consider using someone else? Unless they have an in-house person, of course. But you know, the businesses that we're going after with systems like this, they do not have IT teams. Okay, they're lucky if they have a secretary for checking the mail. That's about it. So that's not a level of thing to worry about. Let's see then. Okay, so just going through a basic magnet, and again we'll use. Actually, do you know what? It's probably better to actually show what the client process. Right. Let's just do that first. This here is a template. I'll make a new window for that because I want to use that as well in a minute. A clean one. So what I'll do is I'll just go to the analysis page. Now this is what we're selling. Okay, it's this all branded to your company, right? That's basically what it is. And if we then go in and I'll just use my classic BBC Scotland. There we are. You can see it automatically pulls in the phone number. So I've read through all of this and I think, oh, okay, well, I should know about these type of things. Yeah, why not? It's not costing me anything, might as well. Show me my score. And what happens then is the system goes out and scans the net for everything it can find about that business that we have listed in the back end, and you'll see them in a minute exactly what they are. So, you know, this takes a minute or 30 to 60 seconds to go through and do all this. In the meantime, your customer is getting sort of fun facts about your business, right? It just changes, different quotes and stuff come up there. Okay, so that's almost, there you go. So that's the overall scores that we're looking at. And these are very typical of just about every site I've tested and checked using this system. They're all pretty much like that. That's why I said earlier, you know, this is going to be worse than they're expecting. Let me just close that. So what I mean is the stuff we're looking for here, right, is reputation great. Now, you may not offer all these services, okay, and that's fine, but I'm sure you offer at least some of them. And the ones that you don't want to do, for example, let's say, well, let's just start up there. Let's say you don't want to work with reputation. Okay, we just take that section out, and then they'll only have 3 scores. That will go, and that section will go. So you can take sections out if you don't want to do them. Or you could put your boots on and say, you know what, I'll take them anyway and I'll outsource them to someone who I know does that service. That's also an opportunity. Or get a VA in to help you with them, you know, because let's say it's SEO but you don't really want to sell SEO, then you can create some packages for SEO and to sell to your clients that you get in this way and outsource the work. You know, we can get into all that later. Let me stick to this. So this is what the client now sees for typing in his name there. We haven't even asked him for his email address or anything yet, okay? And that's because we want to get them in with as little friction as possible. So all they've put in is their company name, and from there we've taken everything else. You can see we've got the full address here and everything now, website, what type of category and so on. And the way this is built, I'm going to have to go through this sort of explain what it is and show you the technical bits at the same time so it makes sense, okay? The big kahuna here is this, fix all listings, okay? You can see it types it all in there and it gives them a chance to change that if it's not correct. What we're doing here now is asking for the individual's name, email address and phone number, okay? That's what we want, because he's pressed a button saying, you know, I want some help here. Okay, who are you that I can contact you and give you that help? Okay, and he's looking at his own address and all that in here, so he's feeling quite comfortable. He's not panicking about who are these people, and you know, you've helped him up to this point. All he has to do is give you the information you need to carry out what he's asking for, if that makes sense. Okay, so it's all very natural. Right, reputation, basically, that's things like directory visibility and making sure that the NAP is correct and things like that. Now, NAP, if any of you don't know that, that stands for name, address and phone number, and that's basically what you have on your Google My Business page. That's your NAP, and that should, whatever you have that set as, is what you should use verbatim on everything else to do with your business online. The exact name, the exact address, and the exact phone number, okay, on them all. Like, for example, down here it says Scoot. That needs fixed. Why is that? Well, a couple of reasons. One, the address is not the same. It's got Glasgow added to it. That's not what's on Google, so that should be fixed. So we just go in and remove Glasgow. Here it says BBC Scotland, but here it says B space C space Scotland. Should not be that. It should be BBC, no spaces. Okay? So you click on that, you set up an account or get into their account. You ask them for the details, you go into the account, you fix it. That's that done. And all these other ones where there isn't any, then you just go in and make a listing for them. That can be outsourced very, very easy and very cheap. Okay?
A good way to think about this as well is that, remember that, well, for a while, it's been happening for a while now, but now it's like the be-all end-all. When Google was considering a company or person or whatever, it's creating an entity based on it. So when everything's the same, it lets Google know that it's you, essentially. So it's BBC without the spaces, etc. And that strengthens, well, not only the authority, the trust, because you've got the experience, expertise, authority and trust. So you want to hit all four of them well, and small things like that all add up.
Yeah, absolutely. You just hit on a very important word there, Chris. It's an entity, okay? And the internet is created with entities now. And an entity is exactly that. So their NAP, for example, is an entity, and Google want entities. Also, when you're getting citations, all that kind of stuff, you must create the brand NAP, and you must use that verbatim on every piece of communication and listing that you have online. And I can tell you right now, they're not going to be like that. And it is absolutely worth your effort to go in and look at your own business and go and check them all in your own business. Okay? If you don't have Google My Business set up, first question is, why not? Second question is, I'd advise that you get that done. And if you haven't done it, then consider what we've just talked about there when you're doing that. What you put up there is who you are as an entity. And the more you use that verbatim throughout the net, the more authority you will get. It's very simple. Google won't ask very politely, please let us know what your entity is, and if you do, we will reward you. Okay, so that's how that is. Another thing that's really taken off is this reviews. You know, these are, I can't remember, is it something like 80%, I think 83% if I recall, of people read reviews before buying something. Okay, and again, this is the BBC, so they don't really care. But if this was a client, right, I mean, look at all this, that's really bad, right? Don't want that. And even though they have down, there's a ton of them here. Oh, okay, yeah, that's quite a few. Just 15 in this past year, bad ones. Now, there's good ones here as well, right? But there's bad ones stuck among them. Okay.
It's worth noting as well that people like the BBC, I mean, people's only going to write in when they've got something to moan about because of the size of it. But in terms of local business, even bad reviews should get attention. I'm sure we've all looked at some review site before, I don't know, going on a caravan holiday or something like that. You've got to make sure it's going to be clean and, or, you know, various things or stuff to do. And when you went somewhere and you're kind of swaying a little and you think, 3.5 stars, it's okay, but how good is it? Maybe some people have just had a bad time or in a huff or whatever. When you're reading through the reviews, and I don't know about you guys, but I look for who is replying. I mean, you get people, sometimes it's just a generic reply. Other times you get people go in and they're like, well, we're sorry to hear you had that problem, or they try and rectify it, or they at least acknowledge it. And what's happening is, even though they've got a bad review, the fact that they're acknowledging it shows other people who are looking at these reviews that they care, they're paying attention, and they're trying to do better. So that's a good way to start correcting the course of reviews. And from an algorithmic point or from a Google point of view, they're looking at it and saying, okay, well, they're not just ignoring it and throwing it to the back of the bin,
Yeah, that's right. And little spoiler alert here. Next month, hopefully, it should be ready by next month. We're working on a little plugin that does exactly that, and it will allow you to offer review management to your clients. And basically what that is you log into their account and it will look at all these reviews. For example, let's go back here a bit. Richard O'Connor, for example, right? So you log in, you get, oh my goodness, sorry about that, we've got an upset child outside. Richard O'Connor, what an experience, right? So you can then log into that account and just say, hi Richard, thanks for sharing, really happy to hear you had a good experience, or something like that, right? But more importantly, the bad ones, like just 1 star, nothing, you could write to them, for example, hi Stephen, we can see you've only given 1 star, but you haven't, sort of let us know what it is. Please contact us at, and put in an email address for their support or whatever, so that we best can serve you, something like that. You want, the idea is to get all these low ones out or replied to. And as Chris just said, actually a friend of mine, him and his wife, they were going on holiday for the wedding anniversary, and he was busy, because now they were taking a week off and he had a lot to take care of, so he left it up to her to go and figure out what they want to do. Anyway, long story short, she comes back and she said, okay, I found the hotel. And he's like, okay, well, let's have a look. And he goes in and he's like, well, listen, it's only got 1 star. She's like, yeah, I know. He's like, well, why would I go to a place that only has 1 star? That's insane. And she said, no, look at the answer. And he went in and he read the 1 star about this woman's complaint about the hotel. And it was the reply from the manager of the hotel that made his wife want to go there, because he handled it so well and so politely that it gave her the immediate belief, if we go here and there's something wrong, I know that guy is going to get it fixed for us. So small stars also can be very, very useful to, is there somebody written something with a sort of, or maybe...
Yeah, Charles made a good point. He says Google will very rarely remove a bad review. The best strategy is to reply positively.
Absolutely.
It's definitely true. And I don't think they should, I'm not sure they remove them at all, but they might, but I don't think they should. Someone's put a review there for better or for worse.
No, they won't remove them. But what happens is, for example, they get less, they'll drop down a bit lower. Like, for example, if you've taken care of bad reviews, Google see that as a good thing, that you've taken care of it. So instead of, your client might have just a 1 star, couple of 1 stars or a 1, 2 star right at the top of his list. Okay? And when you reply to them, Google see that as a good thing, so they don't carry as much negative weight anymore. Okay, and so they will come down the list, or be less prioritised. What I mean is, I have no proof for this, only experience. And what happens is, Google tend to let higher ones come up to the top and the lower ones go down. Not all the way to the bottom or anything like that, but out of the first area of sight. Anyway, wait till you see this plugin we've got for you. It's best thing about it, it's all done with AI as well, right? So it takes you literally 2 seconds to do it, right? But you can we can talk about that next month once I get it out and have it's in final testing at the moment. So once that's completed, then I'll let you know and we can have a look at that. The reason I bring it up now is because if you're thinking, well, I don't want to do review services, I would say think again. It's not about it's not about reputation management anymore. It's about reviews. Reviews is the new reputation management because it's direct business to client. The client will judge the business based on the reviews, no doubt about it. It's beyond all doubt at this point. Okay, and this here, this is just again extra stuff to give you an idea of what their clients are using when they are searching for the company, right? And gives you a little this again from the client. It's the client who's reading all this, so this is all stuff that they can take in about their business. And every little link in here, like contact us, look, they're all linked to you see sentiment analysis. They're all marked, so each same up here with these fix it link things, all this stuff. Okay, you can see to fix your listing information. Okay. That's what I meant. The one at the very top, fix all listings. That means, listen, this whole thing's a mess. Get in touch with me and let me know what I need. That's an all-in-one type help, you know. But as you go down into the difference, sorry. Oh, thought someone said something. For example, if they're only interested in bad reviews, you can see here it's about hiding bad reviews, stuff like that. Okay, so they're all each section. And the reason it's set like that is because when they fill this out and put their name and email into the form box, then you'll be notified what exactly it is they're looking for. Alright. So social media grade, again, you might not want to do social, but this is something that can easily be put out, you know. Theirs is fine. Look, that's fine. It says inconsistent branding. But that's only because I can't find one, right? The other stuff's fine. Again, this one is about branding, right? So they're all the individual buttons follow that. Then it gives them a breakdown of their current social media engagement and the averages, what to expect and what they actually have. Okay. No followers on Facebook. Wow. I don't think that can be right. Don't use Twitter and don't use Instagram. Okay. Here we get down into retargeting and Google Analytics. So, you know, you might want a retargeting setup, get more. That's another service that can be offered. Fairly simple to implement. Google Analytics, you know, it's not tracking GA4, so that's got to be sorted out. Video, yep, they've got videos on YouTube and they can be found on the search engine but not on the website. Okay. And website grade, this is 2.2 for desktop, which is okay. And that's not read that one correctly. I think when we tested that was 8.2 or 8.3 seconds, which is absolutely not good. SEO stuff, right, this is right up you guys' street. This, I mean, look at the stuff here. 12 errors, right? So this one could be used, for example, as an in the gate. You know, when you get contacted, if somebody contacts you and you see this sort of stuff, you can say to them, listen, I'll tell you what, you don't know me from Adam, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prove my worth to you right up front. And see these 12 errors you have with the SEO, I'm going to go and fix them. Free of charge. Okay? And once I've done that, then we can come back and look at these other things and see what else I can help you with to get that up and running. But, you know, to prove my bona fides, I will take care of this part for you. Now, look how that looks visually. It's all red and error and fixed now, all over the place, right? Now, you're not panicking because you're an SEO. So you know all that stuff's going to take you, what? 15 minutes, maybe, to fix. Okay? And then they're all going to be green. No errors, 14 passed, and they're going to be over the moon because you said I'll go and do this for you. You did do it for them, and it all worked. So you've now proven your worth. Okay, so you get into them for the second service, the third service, the fourth service, or the fix it all, the full Monty. You say, look, you know, this is going to cost you that, that's going to cost you that, that's going to cost you that, or if you like, I can just take the whole thing, and you just give them, you know, I don't know, 15 or 20% discount on the whole pack thing. It's entirely up to you, but that's kind of how it works.
A note to add on to that, Chris, is one of the sections about page content readability.
Yeah, that's right.
That's time consuming. Don't just take that on for nothing.
No, that's right.
That's a
Well, that one, when you've come to do it, you don't want to do that one for nothing. But what you do is, you say to them, well, I can't really change that because, this is your actual website copy. I don't want to go in and, rewrite your copy. You can't do that. But maybe you can take care of that yourself. It's too complicated. You need to tone it down a bit. Okay? Same with the keyword and URL. Sometimes you can't do that without doing a 301, and you don't want to go to that label either. You just go in and fix the easy stuff. Keyword in the page meta, get that in. Make sure the title link's okay, description's okay, and make sure they've got the H tags in the right place and the keyword in the first paragraph somewhere. That's basically it. Alright? NAP, can't do that if they don't have a GMB. So if they don't have that, there's another potential service for you right there. Go and set up their Google My Business profile. $500 right there. Okay? It's the same with most of these services. If they go in and do all this stuff, ideally it would be good to have, I don't know, you might already have different packages for different services and so on, but that's definitely the way I would advise doing it. If you don't have that, then you may wish to consider that, because rather than you don't want to be doing custom stuff for people at this price level. Okay, you just don't. The idea is to charge a good price and give them most of what they need. You don't want to customize this. It's going to take you too long, and that will cost you too much money. So a good way of doing it is taking on, let's say for example, this reviews thing we were talking about earlier, right? Let's say that you could say, listen, here's the thing. You've got 15 negative reviews over the past 12 months. Not great, but I can help you with that. And what I can do is I can go in and I can reply to all of these people. Every time you get a review in, I'll reply to them for you. If it's a positive review, I'll thank them for the review. And if it's a negative one, I'll turn that into a positive by, either asking what the problem is or explaining what happened in an apologetic way. Stuff like that. And I'll do this every month for you at a cost of, again, I'll do up to 20 of these for you every month for $2.99. Right? And as a special startup, what I'll do is I'll take care of the 20 existing already. I'll do that for you as well. Something like that. But again, we can go much more into that next month. I've got some ideas for that.
There's a question from Charles. He's asking us, has this been built in WPO?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is not really a page that you would go out and use SEO on for yourself. Okay, you don't want to try and rank this page. It's absolutely not necessary. And the reason for that is you're going to be using it as a tool, and you're going to be sending the direct link out to people. Okay, so let me get back a minute then to our map here.
As you're going back there, Chris, I just want to touch a couple of things.
Yeah.
So when you're going through, when you're putting this out, some of us offer more specialist stuff than others. The general scheme is all similar. It's all in the same sort of we're the same play park in different niches. And when you're thinking about this, the way this has been set up to attract people in via this page, it's really for most of us. Some of us it will be a good enough business on its own. For most of us, it's a foot in the door. Now, if this is going to be not a main part of your business necessarily, but a big part, you're home to make money out of this bit first and foremost before moving on to other aspects or getting the foot in the door, then remember that when you're charging them, for example, setting up Google My Business, and you say, $500, and you say, well, that's only going to take me 20 minutes, half an hour. If everything goes smoothly, well, and what you're going to get off the client comes properly and everything goes very linear and smoothly, then it takes no time at all. But it might not. So don't feel bad about charging the $500 because that's pretty standard. Because people say, I'll send you that over by the end of the day. The following week it comes and, you have to chase them up. So account for the little bits of time in between things when you're putting this out and even if you're using it as a foot in the door, it's worth keeping that in mind. Be aware of what you want to give away free to create trust and reciprocity, but don't do yourself out of losing too much time or money through it, because it can be used as a business in itself, or if you're more specialist with things, as a foot in the door to gain trust. So it works well for both sides. Sorry, Chris.
That's all right. It's a very valid point. Remember Murphy's Law, right? And honestly, $500 for setting up a Google My Business profile is not a lot of money. And the reason for that is it's not only just putting in images and text and all that stuff, it's understanding what you need, where to put it and why it's there. They're not just paying for your actual work of implementation, they're paying for your knowledge. Okay? And the most expensive asset we have with the work we do is our knowledge. It's knowledge. That's why some people take $50 an hour consultation, some people take $500 an hour consultation, some take $5,000. Right? It's level of knowledge. That's what does it. It's knowing what to do and where to put it and how to get it done.
Just sorry, Chris, to jump in there. With Murphy's Law, were you talking about time there? Time expanding?
No, that's Parkinson's Law.
Yeah, Parkinson's, sorry, I've missed that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Murphy says if something can go wrong, it will.
Okay, sorry, I was like that. I don't know if that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say they've been to the magnet now and they have read through this page and they have contacted you, right? Boom, sign up, that's what that is. They've pressed one of those buttons. Okay? If not, that just goes into no and into the recycle bin. Come back to that later. If yes, then that gets added to my system, whatever sales system you use, or if you use a spreadsheet or email setup, whatever you do, you put it into your sales system. And what I do with this one here is add them automatically to autoresponder sequence. Okay, and it's a sequence of 5 mails over 14 days. And the first 4 go out over the first week, then it waits a week and then sends out a follow-up. So, and these are not, I'm not selling in these mails, these are informational mails, also with suggestion planted to services that they might need or do need, right? But I'm planting them softly. And the customer care one, that just says, thanks for taking this business report and reaching out to us. Good move, and over the next few days I'm going to send you some tips that will help you, right? Then day 2, they get reviews and reputation, and then we talk about having a mobile first website, and then we talk about strategy, and they get an offer to sign up for my newsletter. I say this week course is finished now. If you want more of this kind of stuff, sign up for my newsletter, which is my main newsletter, right? Or not, right? And then a week later I say, listen, some people have been contacting me asking if I could explain a little more about, in this case, Core Web Vitals. Yes, certainly I can. Actually, that's a free course we have when you sign up for our newsletter, right? So another hack at the newsletter. If they come in, if they don't come in, if they don't want that, no, that's them finished there, into the recycle bin. If they say yes, they come in, they get added to my Aweber general newsletter sequence, and they get the bonus, and that's sent out over 14 days as well, 6 mails over 14 days, the optimal guide to Core Web Vitals, right? And that's for them. What's for me is that allows me, now I've got them in my main system, that allows me to send them news and updates, all sorts of stuff, products, affiliate products, or services. Okay, and services is a big part of the work we do, so that's what I want. So that there, basically, that bottom right hand quadrant there, that is the sequence. You can see it's very simple when it's all laid out like that, and very effective. And what happens with the recycle bin is, now what we're selling here is business reputation. right? That's what this magnet's about. They might not. What's that?
Before we go on, I want to just ask the question that's come up before we move on to the recycling or remarketing. Chris has asked, what happens if you don't have an autoresponder? So, sorry.
Well, a couple of things. Either you can set one up, or if you don't want to go to all the trouble of that, we could at least, if you wanted to try this system out, we could at least help you with that. You can run it through our autoresponder system. I could make up let me dig into that, Chris, but I think it should be possible for us to do that. If you wanted these mails taken care of and put into an well, it's difficult because
is it integrate with Chris? Do you mean like I don't know, like HubSpot or Monday type of thing, or
no? It means like Aweber and MailChimp.
Okay.
Well, what I would say is a lot of this is all pretty much 90% based on email and automated mail systems. So, if you're talking about an autoresponder for this section here, right? If you're talking about this part, Chris, then we can link it into our system to do that, the automated part of it. And then out of that, you would just collect all the email addresses that came to you. And once you've got enough that you feel you could have input, you want to send out a monthly newsletter to all of these people, then you could go and take an Aweber account or a MailChimp account or set that up, and we'll just give you a CSV with all the contact details that have come through this, and then you can just plot them into that and run it from there. But we can certainly help you with this part, so you don't have any more expenditure and time trying to set up all this part at the same time. If that's something that would be helpful, you can just let us know. Okay then.
If the mails, when you said that, they'll be unique to you. Will be your mails rather than everybody. One size fits all.
They'll be, you choose. You want an autoresponder sequence going out here? Okay. When do you want them going out? How many do you want going out? And what do you want them to say? Right? You just give us that information and we'll plot it all in for you. Or we can even do even more hands off. If you don't want to, you can see it up here, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but if you don't even want the hassle of all that, you can say, listen, I want a 5-piece autoresponder 14 days, similar to what you have there. Just go and write that. Just go and do that for me, will you? If that's the case, we can do that too. Okay, don't ask me for a price because it's impossible to say, because it's based on how many you want and the amount of research and writing that I have to do to create them for you, But certainly if that's something you're interested in and you let me know more specifically what you would like, then I'd be able to give you a price on that. You can always reach out to me by mail on that if you're interested. Okay.
Chris had also said it would be good if we could integrate with Zapier. I agree, Chris. That would be. Sorry, Charles. Charles. That would be really good. The only thing I would say is that the moment this is only open to our community in WPO, and the reason I'm saying that is, although it'd be great, if possible, it should be possible one way or another to go Zapier. I need to double check that. But if it is, then we're not sure how many we would need to set up in order to justify linking it into Zapier and stuff, because that opens up a whole other thing. So the idea of this is to try and keep for us to use this system to get us moving. 2, to keep it as cost effective as possible. Like when you look at the way we generate leads, I mean the price is just silly. But we want to try and keep prices as low as possible. Now, if we're adding it, integrating it with Zapier at the moment, we don't want to up the price for everybody yet. So that's one of the things that's kind of held us back in looking into that. But we'll go and have a look and see if it's possible anyway, and let's get into the train of thought if that can be done.
Yeah, actually, it's from a technical aspect. It should be relatively easy for me to plug that into Zapier. But you're right, it's another cost. And the thing is, for now, the reason we're putting this out to you guys now is, in the interest of full transparency, I want to, we only have our internal team's experience with this, and I'd like some people out there testing it real world as well. And because we don't normally put our stuff out to the public, but this is one of the ones that we are considering, because we have a whole bunch of tools coming up for you over the next few months. And what we're trying to do is make sure that they all link into each other. They're all supportive of each other and a bigger part of the entire process. This is why I'm starting laying everything out in mind maps now, flowcharts now, so you can clearly see what they're doing, and because it gets complicated real quick, but certainly if we do go public with this, then Zapier there's no choice for us. We'd have to do that. Now, whether we can do that before we get to that level, like Chris says, I'm not really sure, but we will certainly have a look, Charles.
Good, thanks.
Okay, so that's basically the one set. Now, this recycle thing, what's that all about? Well, the thing we've just presented them with may not be something that they're interested in at this actual time, okay? But you've got a whole other bunch of services that you offer, right? And whatever they are, I've just put some examples in here of what we do. For example, website analysis, high performance website rebuild, review management, reputation management, social media management, content creation, SEO and PPC. Okay, now that's another 8 of these sequences here. You see? So create and automate individual sequence. This is an individual sequence, a basic one. That's that. Just build one out for every service that you do. Now think about this for a moment. That allows you, instead of contacting cold clients or cold prospects with, listen, I'm an SEO or I'm an internet marketer or I do the same as everybody else does, and we're all just, hammering each other so hard that we're all working for nothing. Please take pity on me and give me the work. No, you don't want to do that, right? You're an expert at what you do, so stand up and be the expert. And you say, look, website analysis, whatever it is you do, right? Let's take some simple ones. SEO, PPC, yeah, I'm an SEO, right? And they're like, oh no, SEO, like another used car salesman, right? Sick to death of hearing about SEOs. Yeah, we are, we've got a really bad reputation. And the only way we can stop that is by stepping out of being part of that bad reputation and say, yeah, listen, I know I know what my fellow SEOs are accused of, and I know the damaging reputation that they have. But that's because they're doing everything the old way. It just doesn't work anymore, right? And people have failed to move on. A proper SEO will take care of this and this and this. You just brand yourself as the expert right there and then. Okay?
Can I share something, Chris?
Let me just finish. Yeah, let me just finish this part. So, the point of this is, when you, like in here, all we're talking about is business reputation. If you have another one, it's for SEO. All you're talking about is SEO. Don't mix these things, right? A lot of people use their newsletters to put out 1 week about that, 1 week about that. Don't do that, because then you're going to get hit with the label jack of all trades, right? So the point of doing them individually like this is that's the only thing you're focused on. It's the only thing you're talking to your potential client about, is the one thing that they're interested in, and they are interested in it because they signed up. Okay? So give them precisely what they want. Not, we can do this and this and this and this and this. Okay, John, SEO, yep, I'm your man. Let me show you how. Let me show you why. You put him through the sequence. He's like, yep, love it. Okay, I need to get some of this done, some of that done. Yeah, that's great, no problem. By the way, I've just signed you up for our newsletter as well. I hope that's okay, just to keep you up to date with any improvements and other stuff we come with in the future. Yeah, of course it is. You go and fix his site, he's done. You're happy. Say, right, John, that was great. Thanks very much. By the way, did you do any PPC at all? Yeah, I do. Hey, do you want me to have a look at that? See how your campaigns are, if we can tweak that a bit for you? Yeah, that would be great. That's you on to another service. Okay? And so on. Because if you look down here at the end, all these sales, even when I've got them into the web, even if I've had a sale and I've got them into the newsletter, what happens here? They go back up to services, which takes them right up here along and right back into that silo. I've now sold them this. It's my job to sell them all this as well. Not at one time, but over time. And I'm going to automate the whole system. So once I put it in place, it's all hands off. This is just pulling me clients in all the time. And you control that. You control the valve on that. You don't want any more clients? Fine. On your page here, you just stick, this is closed for now, you know. You can also put a timer on it, and you can put only 10 more available on it, all that kind of stuff. Okay? So you control the flow of the traffic. Right, Chris, before I get into leads then, what did you want to say?
Yeah, it was relevant to the part we're talking about when your, I suppose, confidence in what you're doing. And, you know, we all suffer from the imposter syndrome a lot of the time. And I never considered myself an SEO for a long time. I was always optimising websites, and I had to learn SEO because that was part of it. And then after working with Chris, I started to realise that I knew more about SEO than most SEOs. And by the time I went full circle, it became a unique selling point for me. And just to give you a sort of idea of what I mean, the last time I went to a client, I was talking to him, and it was going to help him with optimization, website optimization and search engine optimization. And he said to me, talk through, you know, what we can do, and he didn't really believe me about the site, and I proved to him everything's fine. And he said something to me which really emphasised that point. He said, what's the difference between you and a standard SEO? I says, well, you've talked to about 10 standard SEOs, haven't you? Yeah. As he came with half of what I've talked about, no, I got the contract. And the reason I got the contract was because I was thinking about SEO a lot wider and deeper than most. And the fact that we already have WP Optimal, you know, in this group at least, we're already, that's part of SEO as well when you consider it holistically. So use it to your advantage, and yeah, don't be scared to be an expert in the field. If you're building websites with WPO, you're passing Core Web Vitals, and you understand the general scope of SEO, you're already ahead of most. So yeah, sorry. And also see Diane's got her hand up. Go ahead, jump on, Diane.
Hi, yeah, I'm just wondering about the, like I got the package deal for 3, so one of is a whole system, like this, sorry, the mirror magnet there. So when we get 3 mirror magnets, like for 3 different websites?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And so what with what we've been talking about, Diane, you and I, and what you shared with me last, then what you would do is you would take one of these for each of those niches that you were talking about. Okay? And the reason for that is because on this page, then you would take that, you would design this much more precise for one of those niches. Okay? So what I'm saying is you would have, this is a very generic, you know, general business one, but you would say something like, you know, what's your current business reputation score amongst blah blah blah, you know, your niche group. Okay, so what you're doing is you put them against what their competition is doing, and when they get to the page here, for example, at the top, it's going to, oh, it's not switched on this one. There's also, sorry, my bad. There's also a section up here about maps. So what it does is if they're not on number 1, it shows their top competitors right there in their niche.
Okay.
Oh, so, but again, you can use a general one, or what I thought you were thinking about when you took the triple pack was exactly that, to do a different one for different niche. You don't need to do one for every specific niche. I mean, if some of them are pretty close together, which I think they are in that arena, then you could use that, right? But ideally, it would be what makes this really successful is the more it's focused on a specific, the more reflection your mirror gives to a specific type of person, the better result you get. You know?
Okay.
So ideally you would
Yeah.
have one for each, but that can be quite expensive. And so it's what to do is get started with one. Well, you've got three, so get them out. And once you start making money with you, once you see the system's working for you, then you say, okay, well now I'm going to take, because you're not going to target all those niches all at one time, right? So you can start with 1, 2,
Okay.
3, put them out there, see what kind of results you're getting, put more weight in the ones that are working best for you, take one of the other ones out, or just change it to another niche. You don't need to buy a new one. If it's not working so great in a specific niche, then we'll just redesign it for another one. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. It's I'm really happy with this because it's everybody has problems getting clients. I mean, they just do. It's a nightmare. So let's go back to this bit then. Any more questions before we move on to the next part? No? Okay. So, where do we get the people then to come in and have a look at all this stuff? Where do we get them from? Like I said, you don't want to be attempting to rank these type of sites. It's not worth the effort at all. The way you do it is you get leads and you just pop them in there. Now, there's two types of leads. We have external leads, cold leads, and we have warm leads, internal leads. Now, cold leads are things like, from PPC ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn contacts, writing guest posts, press releases, stuff like that. It's basically people who don't know who you are. Okay, so you can get them, and you also have warm leads. I'll come back to if you've got any kind of email contact with your clients, or you have a newsletter, or you've written articles, or you've written posts on your site, stuff like that, and people have had some level of interaction with you, then they're a warm lead. Okay. Another service we offer is to generate prospect lists, and so basically how that works is you maybe I should have opened that window, hang on. Lead generation, right? Basically what this is we can create, if you let us know the keyword that you want to target and where you want to target them, what city or what state or what country. If it's like Charles in the UK, you would not be putting state of course in there, so you would put like I don't know, London, England or whatever, right? And then here I don't know what you want to go after. Now, some people have been a bit confused by this, and perhaps I've not explained it well enough. The keyword we're putting in here is not the keyword of what you sell, but who you want to reach out to. Okay, so that may be dentist or something like that, or chiropractor, or some niche, not the actual keyword that you want, like SEO or stuff like that. Okay, so let's say dentists, Miami, Florida. Right, that's it. That's who I'm going to be targeting, and what do I want? Well, this all information, this all comes. That's what we call the base pack. You can't go less than that. Do you want their emails verified? Yes, please. And what we're looking for, we're just going to take all of this. We want all the information. There's over 107 data points in all of this. We want as much as we can get. $297 if you take everything. Now, guaranteed up here, that's the highest you're ever going to pay for any niche in any place with this system here. And again, if you've not read through this, you can go and have a look and see, what leads actually cost. They are not cheap, right? So this is quite a good deal. And so what you do is you put them in, okay, blah, blah, blah. I've taken them all. How many do I want? 100. Okay, that's $297. Okay, well, I don't really want to, can't cover that right now. So you know what? I'll just leave out the social stuff. Deal sites, nah, don't really need that. Retargeting, nah, not offering that. I'm just doing basic SEO. I don't need the PPC and I don't need the reputation, but I do want to keep the email verification. Okay, now we're down to $1.10, $110. You now got 100 leads for dentists in Miami, Florida. Okay, we take care of that for you. It gets sent, and what you do is you then pop them right into that magnet. Okay, and this is automated. We do this for you. So once your leads are there, you're happy with them, you say, yeah, go with them. We take those leads and we put them through our system, and that sends them out a mail linking them directly to your specific mirror magnet page. Okay, so they just go directly there. And all of this, whatever you have in place, it doesn't go into this is my version, right? But what you have in place beyond this point is what they get sent to. Okay, does that make sense?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Before opening up for the questions, Chris, I want to just ask them, see for the, and I should have asked this before, I don't know why it's not crossed my mind, see the price that we're using for the prospects, the leads?
Yeah.
So I imagine when we, if we open it up wider than the WPO community, the prices will go up, and at that point when the price goes up, will it still be the same as it is now?
No. My goodness, no. No, this is only for members. These.
Will it stay the same for members, even if we open it up to the public?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to.
To keep it so it's the same for the members. That's
that would be my preference to keep this. Listen, here's the bottom line. Basically, you're paying cost price for these leads, but we don't make profit on the leads. So you're linking right into what we are paying for anyway, and the lead price is what. That's why it's broken down into cents, so you can choose how much or how little data you want or need. Right? You'll just take what you need, because they're all broken down. Each element costs a specific amount of cents, and it's all calculated on that. And so but it's linked into my own price, and so when I add these leads to this system, that's what they cost me, right? It's the same price as what they cost you. So I would like to keep that for members, but definitely not when it's up public. No way. There'll be at least double that, you know.
If we can separate it so we can keep.
Definitely. I'll just make some kind of code or something for members that they can use to get a discount. Like I say, it's probably going to be double, might even be 3 times, who knows. But members will always, like I guaranteed on the page, it will never be more than $3 for you guys.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to open up the floor then. First we have Chris.
Hang on, should we do that now, because I haven't showed everything that's in the. Do you want me to just quickly go through the landing page so I can show what they can change?
So it might be relevant.
What's that?
It's only 2 hands up, so it might be relevant.
Oh, okay, okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first we'll do Charles.
Hi, I was wondering, with these leads, I assume you're getting the data that you can from websites.
Yeah. All different points of reference, Charles.
Okay, so they're not qualified. You're not getting individuals. So if we wanted to find the name of the right guy in a company, we'd have to obviously do that ourselves. I appreciate that. Is that right?
Well, no. We try our best. If the information's available, then we will collect that for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we can get it, if it's online somewhere, we'll find it.
They sound like good quality leads. That's great, and the prices are great.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we're really trying to. Like we said at the start of all this, as we're growing our business, we're trying to help you guys grow your businesses too. You know, a rising tide lifts all boats. So we're trying to take care as much of the time consuming or the more complex perhaps stuff. We're trying to now share the stuff that we use ourselves. We decided a few months back that perhaps we should open up to members for some of these tools and see if they get the same benefit out of them as we do. You know, that's basically where it comes from.
Also to add on that, Charles, if you get back the lead and the verified email for what's verified for that company, sometimes it's not the person you want to directly be in touch with. For example, if you want to rebuild a website, I like going for the marketing director. If you're not getting that in the system, the specific person in that company, you have the verified email for the website, but you could use, I like using Snove.io, which if you have the person's name, you can use Snove and you can go in and see every email address associated with that domain, and you can find the person's name if it's relevant to his email address. So if his name was like yourself, Charles Ward, it might be CW app. Okay, that's managing director.
I'm not familiar with that, Chris. Can you put it into the chat again, please?
Yeah, I'll fire that in. That's also a lead thing. There's a free version that allows you to do so many a day, but to warn you before you use it, they hammer you to try and get you on board. I'll send the...
Yeah, but listen, guys, here's something you may not have thought of. You don't worry about leads at this level. You worry about leads at this level.
Yeah.
Right? If you're ploughing in, let's say you stick 100 leads in there, Charles, right? And only 30 of them sign up. They go through your system. But the 30 that have signed up, they've typed in their name and the email address exactly of who they are to be contacted. Not the company stuff, them as a person. So they qualify themselves at the stage and share that information with you. Otherwise, they don't get anything else. So that's what the yes means. Yes means you now have the direct contact's name, his direct phone number, and his direct email address, no matter what size the company is.
Every step in that a client takes as well is one step closer to the action you want them to take.
Absolutely. So once you've got him on a first...
Like you go into a supermarket, a lot of the time the bakery is right up the back. It smells lovely, so it pulls you all the way through the supermarket. You go through all the green groceries at the beginning, then you get to the end of the bread. Before you know it, you've been up and down just every aisle. But really, you just want to get to the bread. So the deeper you are, the more likely you're going to get to the end of the store. The same with this stuff.
Yep. Once you get them in here, you now know exactly who they are, and you know exactly what they're looking for, and then you give them that. Okay? And that's it. And also, this system could be further developed as well. Here's the thing, all of these leads, 100 in, 30 take it. And let's say only 30% of them do it. That's 10 clients for you. Right? For one of those services on there. That's not bad. Right? And you say, well, how many clients a month can you deal with? I don't know, let's say, I don't know what size you are, but let's say 50 clients a month, right? That's a lot of clients. Let's say I need 50. Okay, so now you know it took you 100 to get 10, so you're getting a 10% rate. Okay, so all in all, you're going to need 500 leads to get those 50 clients you need a month to put them into your process. And that's you pretty much done with this. That's you got enough work for the next year at least. You know, and you know exactly who they are from this aspect here. And if we don't know who they are, we don't care about it. We don't gone out, you're in my face, get away. I'm only interested in these people at this point. So you're not even, they just stop there, right? So you don't even have to follow up or deal with them. They just stop. Doesn't happen. Same here, once you go through this sequence, if they don't want to go further, it just stops. Right? And they get put into another one, let's say a couple of weeks or a month later, and they start all over again. But they can choose at any time. All of these mails have an unsubscribe at the bottom of them. Okay, so
before we segue further, Chris, can we get Diane? Before we segue further into the next bit, can we, Diane's got a question as well.
Yeah.
Might be relevant to leads.
Yeah, thanks. I have two questions actually. I have one. Okay, let's start with the first. This is leads for business to business. Now, you said that we could do lead generation with that. So what kind of keyword would we put for getting prospects for actual clients? Like say I want for dentists, I want them to have more leads. So how would that work for that? Or does that work for that?
Yeah, that would work for that. You just do a separate bit for example, if you were setting one of these up for a specific client. Oh no, okay, no, let's not conflate things. Right. What would happen there is you say, hey, Chris, man, I need 100 leads for dentists in Vancouver. Okay. So we'll go and get you them. And those leads, you say to your client, okay, I have 100 leads for you here. Do you want them? Or you put them into your system,
Okay,
or
I
you
see.
sell them to them, or whatever you want to do. Absolutely, you can do that. Yep.
You could choose
Okay.
a high-paying keyword as well, couldn't you? You could choose Invisalign for dentists or something that gives them a really good return.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The more the key to all of this is the more precise you can be about who your end user or client is going to be, the better you'll succeed. Because you're only focused on what they need, nothing else. Only that one thing at that moment in time.
Okay.
And
Great. Yeah.
most people offering these services, they don't do that. They try to sell everything at one time in a super package, and it just overwhelms people. That used to work before, but it doesn't work anymore. People are moving much faster now. They want short, snappy results, and the way to get all of the work is to silo it and do it in chunks. That's the best way to do this because one, it allows you more time to do things, and two, it allows them payment over time. The better results they see from the work you do, the more services they will order.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other one is you said that the system came with the 100 emails each magnet. What does that mean? Like, is that the 100 that you put in the system? Is that every
Yep.
month?
Yeah, that's them.
Um,
You get like when you
okay.
bought 3 of these now, right? So you would get 100 leads for each of those sites to get you started.
Okay.
And you can use them any way you
Okay.
want. What I mean is, if you've got a dentist already and the dentist looking for leads, then you can say to me, listen, I'd rather take those leads all for this dentist. Can you do that? Yeah, I can. So then we can do that, you know. But you can
Okay.
also,
So that's 100. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah. This can also be set up, again, a bit more advanced, and I don't want to cover all that this evening as well. But you can also set systems in place like this for your own clients. So if you've got a dentist, for example, we have a back-end system working on this for dentists, and it's a 6-month autoresponder sequence. And it just sends out 2 mails a week over 6 months of all dentist stuff, you know, to the dentist clients. So yeah, stuff like that can be done too.
Wow. Very flexible.
Yeah.
I have another one too, if I could
Yeah, of course.
ask.
Yeah.
That's about the report. You have buttons there that say fixed listing, fixed listing. So the client will see that, and when they click on it, then they get an email. Is that what I'm
Yeah.
understanding? Is right? Right.
Yep. If I click on this now, then
Okay.
they fill out. That's what I meant earlier when I said to get in the specific person's name, their specific email address, and their specific phone number. Because we already have the company
Okay.
stuff here, right? But we want to know who we're talking to exactly, and that's what we get by filling this out. And it's done in such a way that when they click that button, they're saying, yeah, I need help. Okay, where would you like us to contact you for that help? So it's the most natural thing for them to fill that out, because otherwise how are you going to contact them to help them? And once they press this, fix my listings, what happens is a mail gets sent automatically to them, which you can write. You can put whatever you want in there, including links to your website and all the rest of it. But basically, as soon as they press that, you get an email sent to you with all the details of what he's sent and a link to this profile. And he gets the same. He gets a link to the profile sent to him by mail, where it says something like, thanks very much for taking our reputation analysis. One of our specialists will be reaching out to you, you know, whenever, within the next day or two or something like that. Whatever you want to put, just follow up with them and get them started there. And then you send them a mail the following day or later the same day and say, listen, thanks for your mail. I've had a look at your site here. Do you have time for a quick 10-minute Zoom call? Okay, get them on the Zoom call and you just walk them through this report, which you're both looking at, and explain to them what each thing means. And that's where you can offer them, for example, look, just to get us started, if you're ready to move ahead with this, I can take care of all these SEO things for you first, and I'll do them free of charge. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying that's it's an easy thing for you to fix, right? And it shows goodwill on your side. So once that's fixed, and you can come back and say, okay, we've got that taken care of. What the next thing I would recommend is taking care of your reviews, for example, or your reputation, or whatever. You just pick another one on the page until you've gone through them all, you know, and in that way you're just doing one job at a time for them, but you're getting paid constantly. And some of these services are cheaper than others. Some are one-off fees like Google My Business, and some of them are repetitive business like SEO packages or review packages or social packages or whatever. So now you get them onto a continuity program, you know, so they're paying you every month. And you just keep doing that until you have enough clients paying you 10 or 20 or 30 grand a month, whatever, you know, whatever you want to make, you know.
Awesome.
And
yeah,
the beauty of all
Thanks.
this is you're not, let me go back here, you're not getting disturbed by people who maybe, I don't know, you know, talk to me more about it, you know. No. Don't care about you guys. I only care about guys who have looked at what I've shown them and went, oh my goodness, I need to get this fixed. That's the only people you're interested in talking to. The rest of them, it's a waste of your time. If they can't see the immediate benefit they can get, then they are not the correct reflection in that mirror.
Well, I want to ask you a question myself, Chris. You were talking there about dentists, was it business to customer leads, or was it business to business leads?
No, the setup as it is now is business to business. What I'm saying about the dentist and the 6-month thing, that can be done not in the same way as this, but yes, it can be done using a similar system.
Okay.
But that's one of the tools that's coming later. We're running testing it now, but that's not available right now. But it's something that will be linked into this.
Okay. Business. Okay. Well, okay. I was going to ask a question on that, but I suppose it'll be more relevant at the time.
Yeah.
But one of the things I was going to say on that, if it was the case for Diane, is if you can get the dentist into this system where you're putting out the autoresponders in that form, but initially I was thinking if it was business to customer, for example, if you're in Europe and you take in a lead from a citizen or somebody from the public and you sell that lead to a business, that's not really fair play under GDPR. But if you go from a business to business, that's fine. So my thinking when I was thinking about that was, if you're getting leads for the dentist and you're running it through and you're sending out the mail, you're doing work for the dentist, so it's still him outsourcing this, and you're pulling them full circle back to him, so it's back to the dentist. So that way you're creating...
No, I need to stop you there. This is all getting way too complicated. The way it works is this. If you have a dentist, Dan, and they're looking to have... What we're talking about is you wouldn't really take leads from this for your dentist. That's a different thing. What you would do is you would get your dentist list. If you want to write to the dentist's clients, then you get a list of that would be your leads list then, right? And that's where you would create a campaign for your dentist based on his business. That's the way I would do that. Because that would be very unique to that dentist. You know, and like I said, the one we've developed last 6 months, and you know, when is it you go to the dentist? Is it not every 6 months? Right, so basically that just has a full, when somebody comes in to get the work done on their teeth, they can just be added to your system. And so they get followed up once or twice a week for the 6 months. And then at the end of your 6 months, you just remind them, hey, is it not about time you made an appointment? You know, but that also gives the dentist a chance to send out special offers and all that kind of stuff. You know, but that's not the same as this. Although we will be creating, or we are creating a system that does that part, but it's not this part. This is business to business.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. That's great.
Okay. Any more questions for now, Chris?
No.
Right. Okay. Well, let me just take the last bit here then. Okay. So, in the landing page here, this is just the basic default one, right? And what you get in that is you choose the brand name URI, and basically what that means is, if I take this one here, see that there, that would change. Let me show you. I'll just use your page here, Chris, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So the URI is this part. So you can have written there pretty much whatever you want. Okay? And if you wanted to go... No, I won't get more complicated for now. Right, so that's Iranium, that's Chris's business, Iranium Consultants. So we come in here and you can see it's all branded for him. Okay, same template, text changed, some images changed, and it's got a couple of testimonials on here, but nice and simple. But all the back end all works exactly the same. And when you go through and do all this on this page, that's all branded as well for Iranium Consultants, not this sort of stuff. I'm just showing you here what can be changed, and that's what this document here is all about. Okay, it shows you precisely what can be changed on each of the templates, and as you can see, it's pretty much everything. One thing I don't have on this page though is the backgrounds, the row backgrounds here. You can also change backgrounds and background colour and things like that on every row if you wanted to. All depends how much you want to put into it. Now, I don't have this created yet. What I need is a form to make this simple for you to get the information, because you can see it's quite a bit of information, right? So what I'm going to do is create a form where you would just follow this, and the form would say, okay, what do you want in A1? And in there you would put an image that's 45 by 45 pixels. What do you want in A2? What's your company name? Do you want A3, yes or no? If yes, what should be there? Stuff like that. And if you want a row taken out, let's say, I don't know, down here for example, we have a sign up form here, and we have another one here, and another one here. And you might say, oh well, you know what, that's a bit too much, so I'm either going to take that one out or I'll take that one out. Okay, you can do that too, that just gets switched off. Okay, so it's very flexible, and you can pretty much design or change text, colours, images. The layout is pretty static though, and the reason for that of course is because it's all linked into the back end system. But we can move things up and down, you know. If you think about it as rows, it's like Lego, you build in rows, okay? But they can be moved around and stuff like that, and they can be switched on and off as you want, okay? You can also have pop-ups, exit pop-ups, start pop-ups. And another thing that I've just been working on is, actually I've not spoken about this even to Chris yet, but one thing I've just added into the system is you can also create banners for your main website. Okay, so you can actually have a little banner there, you know, like just normal banner size is 250, 250, 300, 250, 720, 890, skyscraper 160 by 600, and of course a cover size. And what that is if you have a blog or a site or something and you've got a widget area or something like that, then you can actually just, I can give you a banner linked to your account that you can put on your website, and that is basically a form like this. And instead of them coming to this page, then it's done from your main site, and it links to that page in the back end, so the client doesn't see all that, but they still get the results, which lands them on that page here. You see, so that's just a wee extra bonus added in now.
That's really good. In fact, on my main site, one of the things I have in my hero is to get a free, request a free assessment.
Yeah.
And that's it. Okay, my assessment's maybe a bit different from this, but hey man, it's the same idea, and this is less steps.
Yeah, it is, and you could just, you could take this section here, make a cover area of it, and put it on in that same area, so then this would be your free report rather than the other ones, for example. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, that's Frederick's interest. So that's a really good idea.
Yeah. I thought you might like that.
Yeah. Sorry, my head. I'll shut up. My head's just firing off. So cylinders now. But
listen, there's a ton of stuff. Honestly, I'm so excited to show you. I wish it was already now so I could just show you all, because it's just blown me away. It's because it's so simple. It's just so simple. And if you remember the basics of this, let me finish that. Own color scheme, I've said that. Own NAP and email confirmation, yeah. Own template, content, yeah, that's like change text images. Your own unique meta info as well. So we put in, a meta title and a meta description. That should be unique. But again, not because we're targeting it from an SEO perspective. We're not. We don't care if this page ranks or not, because we're sending people directly to it. Okay. And it includes a link to your own site. You can put that in your own section down here. I've just stuck some bullets in there, but you can have whatever you want in here, right? Make sure you get a link to your website in there as well. And on the thank you page, once they sign up for this, they get taken to a thank you page, which is just a wee pop-up saying thanks, for doing this, and click here to learn more, and that's a link straight to wherever you want it to go. Right, so it can either go straight to your normal business website, or you might want to create a specific landing page so you know exactly what information to give these people who have just gone through the system. Remember, the more tight you can keep it focused on what specifically they're looking for, the better results you'll get. And of course, all prospects are sent directly to the mail you provide to me. The system will do that automatically. And the sequence campaign, that's what I was talking about earlier. If you want us to take care of something like this for you, we can do that. But that's not part of this deal here. That's an add-on. Okay. Right. What else was I saying? I was going to show you something. Can you remember what that was, Chris?
I'm sure it was a remarketing. But before we do, Chris is asking when the offer expires.
Expires midnight on Sunday.
So yeah, it was the recycling. Sorry.
Was it recycling? No. I was talking about something else. What was it? Can't remember. I'm probably just talking about something I've already talked about anyway. It happens.
Is there any questions, guys? I mean, we'll come on for a Q&A and we'll basically just talk at you to go over everything again.
Yeah, that's right. Just I just wanted to, sorry it's taken so long, I just wanted to go through it all because you might have had specific questions to specific areas of the process, or the landing page, or what you can change and what you can't change and all that, so yeah, please by all means, and remember, there's no silly questions, only silly answers, so get your hands up.
What about why didn't I ask? Is that a silly question?
No comment.
Fair enough. Well, this is really, what I really like about this as well? The amount of work that you put into a CRM, building it up, and when you get to the point where someone isn't ready to invest yet in maybe their website or SEO, whatever, and you have to remarket the thing and keep them in the loop. Even with the best of will, they always end up falling out. And what I like about this is it keeps them in the loop for a later date automatically.
Yeah, that's right. They're going through as many loops as you wish to create. In this setup here, there's 9. Okay, and to be perfectly blunt, if somebody's not taking a service or an offer from me after 9 recycles, then I don't want them anymore anyway. Right? They're just costing me money and mail charges. This is business. You know, and like I said before, my favourite thing about this whole thing is I don't even talk to anybody. I don't even know about anybody until I've got their name, email and address and phone number. Right? So all of that distraction, for me, that was always the worst. It was the distraction of trying to get clients in. This system's automated. You just keep popping those leads in there and they will convert over here. Not every one of them, of course not. But like even if let's say you only get 2% of them, right? 100 leads in, 2 clients, still not bad. So you've what would 100 leads be? Even if you took everything, that would be 297 in lead cost, acquisition cost. You get a result of 2. That is, yeah, it's cost you then what, $150 to get a client. Now, how many services are you going to sell to them? How long will it take to ROI that acquisition cost? Now that's only on 2%. Let's say it's 5% or 10%, right? Now each lead has cost you what, 29 bucks, right? What's your cheapest service? Your cheapest service is going to be what, $2.99, something like that, all the way up to WPO sites at $5,000 plus, right? That's not expensive acquisition at all. I mean, some people pay more than that on a single CPC. You know,
it's the time as well. I mean,
the time's the main thing. The time's the main thing, really, because once this is in, it's automated. You need more leads in, fine, order them, we'll throw them in for you. It's all hands off. You don't need to worry about it. You just take care of the clients as they're coming in, and forget about all the people who don't come in. They're of no interest to you. Don't be distracted by that. You know, you're not everything to everybody. Neither are your services. Sad state of affairs, but you know, we need to deal with it. That's the way life is.
It's the time it takes as well with the, you know, I'm not a natural born salesman. I like just doing the work and trying to focus on getting better at that all the time.
Yeah.
And taking time out and reading books and trials and errors and testing and over and whining and dying clients for 3 months to get knocked back. You know,
yeah, it's terrible. It really is terrible. And that's what I'm saying. A system like this just takes all that away, because you're only dealing with people who have already contacted you, right? So you're not reaching out to clients individually. You're reaching out to them massively. And the ones who need it right now will contact you. That's how you get the clients on autopilot. You know, and if you need more clients, throw in more leads. And for every 100 leads you do an analysis. How many of them converted? Okay. And how many clients do you want a month? Okay. That's X times Y equals how many leads you need to reach that goal. So you just pop them in and just keep it running.
Chris is asking what addition will cost will we need? What addition? What addition costs will we need to add to your program? So if you're doing autoresponders,
let me take this one, Chris. If we don't have to do anything extra to what we've shown you tonight, then there is no extra cost. You don't need anything else. The site's built for you. That's the setup charge. The site's built up for you. It's hosted for you. It's all done. It's all taken care of. It's all hands off for you. And the only expense you would then have is if you choose to use us for leads. But you can take these leads from anywhere. You don't need to get them from us. You can go and put your own leads in there and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm sure you already got existing clients and things like that. Throw all of them in there as well. All your warm leads, get them in there. And get up onto your Facebook profile and your LinkedIn profile. Put a link to your system. Get those leads in there as well. Everybody you can think of. And if you need more, let us know and we'll top you up with them. So that would be your only extra expense. And like Chris was about to say, if you decide that you want us to take care of this aspect for you here, run the autoresponder system for you in your name through our systems, then we can do that too. And I can't really give you a price on that because one, I need to see what it costs us exactly, and two, I don't know how big, how many meals you want and stuff like that. So that would be on a one-to-one basis. We would make an agreement on what the costing would be for that.
So for clarity, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Chris, just for clarity. If you think about it in three buckets, at the top we've got the mirror magnet, which is its own thing. From there you can deal with the lead yourself, or we can help with that. So that's another section. And from the mirror magnet, if you're moving on to mail sequences, we can help with that in terms of running through Aweber all the way up to if you're needing us to write mails and help with that side of it. And we can, that will be more customised. The same as the leads are more customised depending on what you're needing through the form. Except from we'll have to talk one-to-one with the mails to see what is needed uniquely for the business or the niche that you're offering to, and how many mails are needed, etc. Or if you have the mails, you're just running it through our Aweber. Because I'm a specialist in water, sorry, this is from Chris. Because I'm a specialist in the water treatment and purification business, would that be the best industry to concentrate on? Well, the advantage to that is if you're writing out your own mails, you'll know your target audience better than we will. So if and you might already have a newsletter set up for that. So
what you do have, Chris, is you have a list of previous clients and potential clients that perhaps never took the contract, stuff like that. These would be ideal in a system like that. If you built it up specifically for water treatment processes and things like that, and you're looking to get direct business out of it, absolutely. Because all you need to do, if you needed leads for that, then you would just tell us what sort of businesses, because I don't know anything about that niche at all, so you would just let us know what type of businesses would you want us to contact and where, and we can build you a list for that. You can then send a mail out to all of those companies and offer your services through a sequence like that. Certainly you could.
So you're saying about 3,000 customers. Is that who you've already got the contact details for? If that's correct, then that would be the first people I would send. Honestly, if you get the mirror magnet, I'd put maybe not 3,000 in the one go. You might get overwhelmed in the response. But if you put out maybe, if you break up into maybe 100 every 3 days or 4 days or so.
No, a week. I would do 100 a week. Even that's quite hardcore.
Okay. Yeah, but I wouldn't put 3,000 in at the one time.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I would break that up into about 100 a week. And do it over 6 months, because you might be, like Chris says, overwhelmed. You might be surprised at the result.
And what I would do here, Chris, if I was you, is I would say, okay, think about the mail sequences. And write out the follow-up mails that they're going to have over the month, one a week for a month, touched on the key points that you want to get to, and then the gap of a week or so, and then come in with another area. And also, if you have a newsletter, link them onto that. And once you've got that set up, it's literally just go onto your spreadsheet, take the next 100, put them in. Next 100 to follow me, put them in, and it's nice and simple because everything's already laid out for you. And and the good thing is if you get a lot of feedback from any cohort or the 100, then you can just hold back for a few weeks before sending more out.
Yeah, exactly.
If you've got 3,000 to get going, then if I had 3,000, I'd be doing that right now.
Yeah, that's a very, very good start you have there, Chris. Potential is really good. And the reason I would go for the place you're already an expert, or the niche you're already an expert in, is you can use that massively to your advantage. Say, listen, I've been doing this for X amount of decades and this and that and the next thing. So over that mail sequence, you're showing your professionalism, right? But you're not selling them water treatment, you're selling them better web presence. And so you focus on that angle. One of the things I learned in my business was how important it was to have a proper presentation of my services online. And the services I'm offering you, dear client, is exactly that. To get your site up to scratch so you get more clients wanting your services. Absolutely, that's a great niche.
Well, Chris also saying customers are domestic and commercial, industrial. You know, that gives it, you can even break it down further and put out 3 separate, or even 2 probably, but 2 or 3 separate versions, so you're targeting very directly to the main focus. I imagine domestic water treatment versus maybe industrial purification. I don't know if it's desalination or what it is you're doing, but it can be more focused in the biggest service for them.
Yep, definitely. That's the optimal way to do it. That's for sure. But again, it's more time. It really depends on what you want to do. But I will underline again, the best success you're going to get is the more precise you can be. The more precise you can mirror the specific target, the better. So, like Chris says, breaking it up into domestic and industrial, even just starting there, that's good. Because you would talk to them in a different way, right? Any group of a pre-existing list you have, if you would explain something to one group slightly different than you would explain it to another, then in my mind that would require its own process or its own, sequence.
Yeah.
To get optimal results, of course, you can't just do it all in one. But the whole point of this is to try and teach you, not even if you take this or don't take this, the point of the whole training was, what I wanted to get out of all this is, the more you niche down, sub niche down to specific potential clients, the better results you'll have. 2 reasons for that. One, you're talking exactly in their language and you're hitting a pain point that they're currently in. And 2, nobody else does it. Nobody else takes that time or effort. They just don't.
Knowing a business is a major advantage.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. Yeah.
The way people, it's almost, you're starting from a good place because they've already got that connection, that bond.
Yeah.
And it's so much so, in fact, I'll just tell you, it's a bit of weakness. I've done a presentation a while ago for a good contract, and it was, I honestly could have laid everything out with this guy. I could skyrocket his business with what I do, and it was all, everything was all laid out, and the guy looked at him and was like, yeah, and he's seen it, and it was between me and another company who done only PPC. I think they outsourced the SEO, I don't really know what they were doing, and the reason that they decided to go with them, and he told me straight, was simply because they knew his industry better than what I did. And I remember thinking, what? They don't know they don't know, man. They don't know the industry you're looking for. He didn't care. It was like, no, but he knows this.
Yeah.
Just contract for Centre Parks. Well done. That's a good contract, Chris. Well in.
Yeah.
Are you in the UK?
It's the same thing as I was talking earlier with Diane about. By niching down into something, you can present your whole presentation is focused on that very sub niche.
Yeah.
It just has an amazing effect.
If you're taking Centre Parks, then I imagine you're in the UK, Chris. In which case, especially in England, and it's creeping up to Scotland, but especially in England, the state of the water has been left in a bit of a dire straits at the moment, So now is the ideal time to be offering water treatment and purification because it's been left to fade away a bit, the standards.
But who needs water?
Lucky. Sorry?
I said, who needs water?
No. Also be the MOD. Well done. The MOD, that's some contract. Well, good. I mean, just go deeper then. Being able to take care of, if you're got big contracts like that, and the MOD they don't like to use case studies so much, they're a bit cagey, understandably. But the Centre Parks stuff, using them as case studies where possible to add to your site, and you're getting the link to the lead magnet via your site, and then the magnet back to your site. When people are going on, that's giving more authority as well. Focus directly on the niche that you're hitting, and even if someone is coming from a domestic standpoint and they move on and they see that you do domestic as well as centre parks, MOD, big contracts, that makes them feel extra special, because not only can you work to that calibre of contract, but you're going to come out and deal with my problem is quite small in comparison, with the same attention to detail.
Yeah, it's an instant authority boost, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. I feel like we've just patched everybody else focused on Chris. I'm very impressed. That's well done, Chris.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. And one of the bits that I never went into directly was this advanced local niche targeting, but that's pretty much what we're talking about here. Again, with what we spoke with Diane about earlier and what you've just spoke to Chris about there, that's really what that is. And what I mean by that is when you have your page set up specifically, again, this is a business one. This one's a business one. But that would all be set up, you would have, if we take, I don't want to divulge any of Diane's niches, right? So we'll take Chris a second here. If this was all water-based, Chris, then, your colours would be more blue, you would have a nicer image there in the background, and focus, your language would be much more precise. That's the beauty about going for niche stuff, is the language that you use, and by you having such a long experience with that field, already the jargon, right? So your whole page is going to be coming from that angle, so your natural writing will resonate with the person reading it. They'll know exactly what you're talking about, right? Because of the experience that you have. That'll shine through automatically in the way that you write, and the way you bum yourself up more or boost that authority would be through your sequences, your mail sequences, But if you were allowed, you could also have some on here, some mentions and some links out to, I don't know if Ministry of Defence would allow it, but you could have whoever you've done work for that wouldn't mind having their logo on here and a link out to their site, something like that. You can do all that sort of stuff as well.
And also, one of the good splits here as well, being able to change this, is being able to use, so say you were using one focused on domestic and one focused on industrial. Obviously the picture's a good standpoint because it's a very different visual. But when you're using the logos, if you're going commercial and you're going like centre parts, or you're going domestic and it's an individual, then that's resonating more focused in. So, for example, Tesco. So if you use Tesco in centre parts and you're going for industrial, then that seems like a no-brainer. The same as looking at it, they're like, well, he's a heavy hitter, he's done this, he's worked for these big companies and got a good testimonial. And equally the same on the domestic side. So I think if you were to put Tesco centre parts on the domestic side, it might be overwhelming. You think, they're too big for me. Or equally the other way about, if you've got somebody, like say it was Aldi or somebody looking for treatment and they go on and it's just domestic. So that's a perfect situation to have 2 or 3 very sites for it, so you're attracting the right customer.
I did a logo for them about a decade ago, Aldi.
That's the logo or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my son talks a lot about Aldi. It's because it's a local supermarket. He's like, we're going to Aldi like that.
Aldi.
Yeah. We...
Right, we're getting up for the 2 hours here, so if you've got any questions, ladies and gentlemen, now would be the time. Oh, one thing I should say, of course, is on the page, if you do want to buy one of these, it's the link's here. Let me just show you that, because
I've got the link.
Okay, so you get the price in here. Now, it costs, normally this is, what it's going to cost, I can't say normally because it's not out yet, but when this comes out, or after this special offer here, the early bird, this will cost $697 one-off setup charge and $97 a month. Right now, you can have it at $47 a month, and the sign-up charge is $497, which includes the first month. Okay, so it's $500 up front, and then $50 a month after that, after the first month. Did another wee extra special offer here for those who want to go the niche way, like Dan took advantage of this. And what that is you get 3 of them for the price of 2, including the half price per month. Okay, so what that is, you can have 3 of them. It's a one-off fee of $1,000 for us to create 3 of those sites for you, 3 of those processes, systems, and then it costs you $97 a month, and the $97 a month is for all 3 of them. So instead of $47 a month, instead of $97 a month each, you pay $97 a month for all 3. That covers all of them. Okay, and remember the setup fee is a one-off fee. Okay, so that's the 2 possibilities there is. Oh, and if you do go for the 3 thing like Dan mentioned earlier, I should remind people of that, is I just added on something recently as well, and what that is I'll give you 100 leads for each of these sites, so that's a total of 300 leads that we put into the system once it's set up for you, and get that started. Okay, so that's about it, I think. Any more questions, Chris?
None in the chat. Anybody want to jump off mute and ask anything?
I'm just wondering about the leads, the 100 leads. I'm still confused a bit about that. Is that the one time, and is it? Do you find those leads, or do we pass them through the lead generation and then they're free for 100? Like
Okay. No, it's a one-off thing. So when I set up your first site, Diane, we'll get all the design work done and get everything ready, and then I'll go and get you 100 leads for that niche, and then put that into the system for you, and then I'll do the same for the next 2 following sites as well. And if you decide you want more leads after that in the future, then that would be a separate purchase.
So that would go through the lead generation, and then once I have the leads, you put them in the system.
Well, we can do. Well, no. What it is we go and find the leads for you and put them in the system. But if you have leads that you want put in there as well, you just send them to us and we'll put them in. There's no charge for that.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because I was wondering how to put them in the system, but
yeah, no, we do that for you. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We try to make this as hands off as possible.
By the way.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of you guys are pretty much the same as us. You want to focus more on developing and building and creating than you do going looking for people who are going to pay for it, right? And this just takes a big sting out of that whole selling process. It doesn't mean you shouldn't go out and sell as well. Of course you should, until you get the clients you need. But this is just a more passive, simple way of doing it that just does not take up any of your time. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and
that's a big wow for me.
Yeah, great.
It's good as well because it opens up the door a lot, and if you're going to work all the way up to doing like rebuilding the website, for example, for Mobile First and Web Vitals or whatever, then by the time you get to that point, you've already taken care of a lot of the problem issues.
Yeah, that's right.
So either you can still charge as much as we're going to charge and do less work, or you can justify making it a little bit cheaper for them, depending on where they're sitting. If they can afford that, I would be careful making it cheaper because you don't want to seem like you're creating less value for them, but it gives you a little bit of flexibility because you've taken care of things already. So, and people already have trust. If you've given them a good deal on something, taken care of something, and they feel the results from it, then the trust and your authority, and there's a little bit of reciprocity there, but they've made some money out of actions that you've taken,
Yeah, definitely. It's very simple.
This helps a lot.
Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
This helps a lot. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Our pleasure. Helps us too. Remember that it's basically like this. People buy from people, and the people they buy from are the people they trust, and the people that people trust are those who are most like themselves. Okay, this is where the whole mirror concept comes from. So the more you can reflect your potential client, the more precise you can reflect that image, the better success you will have. And the reason this works like gangbusters is because nobody does it at this level. They just don't. Right? That's why automation is the number one secret. It's a pain in the backside setting all these things up, but you know, once you have a system together, that it really is. It's hands off. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Okay, it's just taken care of for you. So automation is definitely the way to go. And with the advent of AI, automation is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, you know. So you're right in here right now at the ground floor. Okay, so if you haven't got yourself a system in place, then please start doing things like this for yourself, even if you only just jot it down on a note of paper. Do these things. I didn't for decades. This is me calling the kettle black right now, but if there's one thing I could change and go back to when I started all this work, I would have done this right from the start. I really would have, because there's only so much you can keep in your head, right?
Yeah.
And the age I'm at now, I'm starting to find, oops, not all that information is still so sticky as it once was. And so with things like this, it makes it very, very simple for me to, instead of sitting down using 5 minutes on trying to remember something, I just open up my map, click on my link, all my notes are there, all my links are there, it's done, I know exactly where I'm going. And it's just such a faster and more efficient way to work by automating things, you know, because once it's in place, all you need to do is keep feeding it leads and it'll keep spitting out clients. There's no way out of it. Yeah, they can say no and then they go into the recycle and you're going to get them at some point, guaranteed. Otherwise they wouldn't have been interested in anything at all. They wouldn't, if they're not interested in having their site fixed or help with any of the work that we offer, then they'll be gone very quickly. But again, we're not interested in them. We're not going to waste time on people like that. Because in my experience, these are the people, I'm sure you've met them. They come on and they're interested in this, they're interested in that, and you spend a day, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, you know, trying to bend yourself to what they want, and then you get a no anyway. This just stops all of that, cuts it right off, don't care. Yeah, and that's why I'm at this point. All people who come here, yeah, I love you to death, I'm going to do everything for you. The ones who go here, yep, you're going to get recycled. The ones who don't do nothing, I'm sorry, I can't help you. You don't want my help, you don't need my help, obviously. So I'm going to focus on those who do. It makes me happier in the morning, working for people who I'm helping, rather than trying to convince other people of what they need from me. I'm not here to convince anybody, I'm here to work.
So, 2 things. One, Charles is asking if the process is available in a PDF.
This process here?
Diagram. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you'll find it right on that page here. Can you put that link in, Chris? And
it's already in.
It's right there, Charles, on process map.
I'll bring it. Oh no, sorry.
Thanks, I hadn't spotted that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I put it back in, put it in earlier. I'll go and read it again. And Diane's got her hand up. Yes, Diane.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I see the recycling. I'm a bit late asking the question, but when you recycle all the different services, do you need a different magnet for each services, or?
Yes, that would be well, not necessarily a magnet, but a process. You need to have this part here in place, because that's the automation part, right? So once they come into here, if they're interested in, let's say, SEO, then you have a little autoresponder so you can explain about SEO, and you talk about the services you're offering, and then you go for the close here.
Okay, so it would be recycled, and then they would be put into another list depending on the service, like each.
Yeah, that comes down here. This is, like you can see here at the end, I put all sales, segregate and automate lists. So what happens is, if they go through this system here and it's a no, they get recycled. But as they're being recycled, they're removed from this one. So they won't get any more information about that. So you're not going to upset anybody by sending them new mails, because every time you send new mail, it's going to be about a different project each time. And like I said, there's an unsubscribe link on every single mail, so it's doubtful that people will get up. Some do anyway, some people just like to complain. But I think Chris mentioned this before, but I'll just underline it. When you're doing business to business, cold email outreach is not spam. It's cold email outreach. It only becomes spam if a business does that directly to clients. You can't do that. That's potentially spam. But business to business, no, that's cold email.
So if they go no to start, then I could go on Aweber, and if they unsubscribe, like I could put them on another list in Aweber, and then they would go through another system, or?
Yeah, that's right. It's like you can see here. Once I've got them down here and they're into sales, I pump them back up to services, which pumps them back up to this silo here. So whether they buy or whether they don't, they're going through this system anyway. You know, because I'm not just wanting to sell them one thing, I want to sell them everything I do.
Yeah, but it's fed rather
over time, not all at one time, of course, but you know, let's say over a 6-month period or something like that, then they're going to go through this entire system that you create. So you can make it as small or as complex as you like, really. The purpose of doing everything this way is the automation of it all. Is to automate it so you only do the work once and it continues to work for you for a long, long time. And you can add more things to the system and it will just expand and expand. I'm sitting here moving my hands wider apart and of course nobody can see me. It just expands and it gives you full control over the entire process. Let's say a year down the road or something, and you say, well, you know what, I don't really want to offer PPC anymore. Fine, just take that one out of your system. That's it. Plug in, plug out, done. But you still have all that system somewhere if you choose to plot it in again later. But these things can all be switched on and switched off as you desire, as you wish. Like if you've got too many clients coming in, then like I said, just put a closed for now thing on your page here. You know, we're not currently taking any more clients. If you'd like to be notified when we sign up again, actually there's an automatic thing that does that. It will take the email address and phone number and put them on a waiting list for you.
Okay.
Yeah. And I suppose as well.
I'm sure it's going to get clearer as we go through, like as we build the system there. It's
well, I'll walk you through as I'm building these out for you, Dan. I'll explain exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing that, so that you can learn how the intricacies of the system works. Because once you see that, once the logic falls in place, and it can be a bit difficult, right? Once the logic falls in place, then you're going to think, aha, okay, yeah, that's actually very simple. You know, it's leads in, clients out. That's the most basic bit. But to convert a lead to a client, you need to have something, and that's where the mirror magnet comes in, or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a mirror magnet. I mean, but it has to be something. It has to be a product or a service.
Mm. Yeah, and when you go back around as well, I mean, they might have, you know, like, you may not want to do social, for example, but you keep that in and you help someone else to do, and you find a good either outsourcer or BA. And if you find someone that's very good in a department that you don't want to take care of, that can also be another cycle you can add in, and you can do your mail sets on that, you know, and just gradually add to it, cover everything you go.
That's
and
right.
It's not that it all has to be done at one time. Start with what you start with, and then just add it as you're going through.
Yeah.
You can build it up, because it's drip fed over a long time. So that allows plenty of time to go in with very accurate mail sequences and deliver on value, because the point of these mail sequences, okay, it's a call to action, but it's maybe not proof of concept, but it's explaining, you know, what you're talking about. You're saying to someone, in this, you know, sector, this is important, this helps, have you considered this? And you're giving them value, and at the end of it, you know, if you can't be bothered, we can help you out. You know, we know what we're talking about, as we've just explained.
Yeah, exactly. That's the soft sell route. You could definitely do that. An even better way for those who don't mind lifting the phone or getting on a Zoom call, that's by far the optimal way. Once they've gone through this, the best way to pick up these clients is let them go through the mirror magnet. They see the results that they're getting. They've sent you their name, email address and mobile number. I would reach out to them, like, because your confirmation says we're going to contact you. So contact them and say, look, here's what I can help you with. Do you want to get on a 10-minute call? let's see what I can do to help you. You'll close the deal right there. Or if you don't like talking on the phone or stuff like that, it can be done by email too, that's for sure. But definitely more success with the personal call. It's because it's person to person. You know, it makes them feel more, you're a real person now, they're talking to somebody, you know. Like in the old days, all this was done by phone, you know, not email. And that still sticks with some people. They prefer to know who they're dealing with, you know. But again, it'll be different in every market. And everybody works in different ways. I'm just saying, you can do this both ways. There is some more advanced ideas we have for this, but it won't be coming out. It'll be further down the road. But considerations we're having at the moment is to put some automation in there, and it's a bit more complicated. For example, when somebody opens your mail, we can set it up so that you get a mail saying that they've just opened that mail. So you know they're sitting reading your stuff right now. You know, you can pick up the phone and call them. And what a coincidence it would be that you called right at the moment they're reading your mail. You know, but that's a bit more aggressive. But there's stuff like that that we're working on at the moment to really tighten this whole thing. You know, so you can convert as many of those clients, many of those leads as possible coming through.
Yes, I'm just going to say just now, everybody, I've got a very angry, well, not an angry toddler, it's a lovely toddler, a toddler that's up all night, so I'm sadly going to have to go and prepare for a night of no sleep with him.
Yeah. Okay, but we're over the 2 hours now anyway, so if you have any last minute questions, then please, now would be the time. If some pop up later or something like that, then just contact us at support@wpoptimal.com and we'll get them answered for you. And also, I'll make sure we get a replay of this set up for you. I've recorded it through Google here, but you know, we've not always had 100% success with that. So I've also recorded it myself locally here. So one way or the other, there will be a replay of this, and I'll get that up for you tomorrow. So any last minute questions then? No? Okay. Well, in that case, I'll say thanks very much for taking a couple of hours out of your evening today. It's, as always, a pleasure to talk with you. And I hope you can see the benefit of this, and only you will know if this is the type of way you want to move forward. You know, start to automate stuff. You know, we're all getting on a bit now, and you know, that energy we used to have gets a bit tiring. So I'm a great believer in the more you can alleviate that, the better. And automation is by far one of the best ways I know of doing it. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And if you think this is something for you, then the early bird sale, like I said, is open till Sunday, midnight on Sunday. And of course it'll be available after that. It will just be not at this price, that's all.
And what's the time? Is that GMT or is it, you know?
Eastern, yeah, Eastern time. Eastern time, yeah, so 6 a.m. UK, okay. Monday.
So I thought it would be better clear than that.
Yeah, yeah, American time, American East Coast time.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, guys, as well, for coming on and giving us your time, as always. And I've really enjoyed being on Google Meets and getting to hear, you know, and I think it's more intimate. It's nice to talk more. Yeah, thanks for listening. And if you go ahead with this, then yeah, I wish you the best of luck. I know from our side we'll be doing everything we can to get you moving.
Yeah. And one thing I would just like to add, anybody on the call here who does get in on this, once we have the site set up and stuff, then we'll take a call, a video call like this, just you and I, or you and Chris. It'll be one of us. We'll get on with you one-on-one, just to walk you through your specific system and how it works, so you know what to expect. And we've got everything set up so that the mails are all getting sent correctly to you and stuff like that. So we'll put that in there as well. There's no charge for that. That's a bonus. So we'll just come on for 30 or 40 minutes with you and walk you through your specific process. Okay. Right, well, I think that's about it then. So if there's nothing else, it'll be good night from me.
Good night from him. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Okay, bye for now.
Night. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Night. Bye.
Bye-bye.